As people begin to explore the world of spiritual practice and the world of spirituality and how it can help them practically every day, sometimes they get a little overwhelmed by all the different things out there. There's 100 forms of yoga and 1,000 kinds of meditation and all kinds of different ways to pray, different scriptures to study. So they ask me, where can I begin? What are some of the basics? And interestingly, I actually have a little thing that I like to teach people that I call the basics. It's 6 simple steps that can help a person to become more mindful of the way they handle challenges and changes and choices. It's actually 6 steps that you can even use to create a daily practice. So the basics is literally the acronym that you need to remember. The first is B, and it stands for breath. So take a moment. If you're in a difficult situation or a challenging situation, or you feel your emotions getting the best of you, just stop and take a nice deep breath. Continue to focus on your breath for a little bit. Nice deep belly breaths, a deep slow breath in, a long slow deep breath out. And what you'll find is you'll begin to slow down. You'll begin to become more present, and you'll be able to become more aware. And that's the next word, A, awareness. So take that moment, now that you've stopped, to become more aware. Become more aware if you're overreacting, if you're taking something personally. Become more aware of how you're affecting other people in the situation. What is the big picture? And then we go to the next letter, which is S, silence. An important part of this process is being quiet, being still. That means no cell phones, no computer, no television. Just give yourself a moment free of all those distractions. And if you can't do that because you're in a parking lot or you're at a meeting, then just focus on the stillness and the silence inside. That's when we move to the next one, which is I, which stands for intention. When you take that time out, yes, it's good just to be quiet and it's good to slow things down to connect with your breath, but that's when you got to regroup, because let's face it, you can't stay in that little meditative moment forever. So what's your intention? If you're stuck in a little drama, what is your highest intention for that situation? What are you really trying to accomplish? When you get clear on that intention, then your decisions will become more clear and your choices will become more clear. So take that time out to focus on your intention. Then we move on to the C in the basics, and that is compassion. Now, there are a lot of great attitudes that we talk about in the spiritual world. What helps us to be peaceful? What helps us to be kind? But it's hard to remember all these attitudes, being non-judgmental, being forgiving, being kind. To me, the master attitude is compassion. If you can just remember compassion for yourself and for others, it'll help you to evaluate if your choice, if your decisions, if your intention are really realistic, if they're kind, and if they are empowering. Now, an important qualification I always like to add when we talk about compassion is being compassionate doesn't always mean being nice. It doesn't always mean making people happy. What it means is being empowering. It means helping people to be accountable. It means helping ourselves and others to be the best that they can be. And you know, sometimes people, they're not crazy about that, but in the end, they'll thank you. The last of the 6 principles in the basics is slow down. And I've mentioned that a few times already. But the importance of slowing down isn't just about slowing down the breath and the mind, but it's really about taking a step back and looking at the way we let time control our lives. Learning to slow down is an important part of virtually all the spiritual practices I've ever encountered. I never met a spiritual teacher who told me I needed to hurry up, or I needed to think faster, or cram more into a day. In fact, wherever I've gone in the world, they've always taught me the same thing. Learn to think slower. Learn to take life slower. Learn to pace yourself, and don't let time rule you. Look at how you're using your time and become the master of your own clock. Become the master of your own time. So the basics, B-A-S-I-C-S. It's simple, easy to remember, and it's a practice that we can apply in stressful moments, and we can even use it as a way to start our day.